The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network. What is up, everybody? Welcome into a Thursday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com. Man, the weeks just keep going and going and going. We are here, brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the top right-hand corner of the screen so you know where to go if you are in the market for a new or used vehicle. You can go check out, wait for it, boop, there it is, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. We try to play our player profiles, our coaches' corners that we get throughout the season on the show as much as we possibly can. Today, we have one of those. We have a player profile for you today. It's going to be from Cardinal Mooney. Sam Rotuno is going to be the player profile featured today. The Mooney senior that has meant so much to this program. The family has meant so much to this program and Mooney Athletics throughout the years. I mean, that Rotuno name has just been said throughout YSN, I think, since Mooney really started as a YSN family school. So we're happy to see Sam Rotuno get all the success that she's been able to get. Senior year, we're sad to see her go, but we know that we have her sister for a couple of more years too as the libero of that team. So going to be fun to share that interview with you guys. It's already been posted, so we don't premiere things on here on YSN Running Point. We try not to premiere things. We try to get them up on the website first and then showcase them on the show. The exceptions, that's the word I'm looking for. The exceptions of that rule are, of course, people that come live on the show, which do happen. And sometimes you get an interview that is just time sensitive and gets recorded like right before the show or an hour before the show. And, you don't have enough time to get it up on the website before the show. So you just play it on the show so it gets played. Usually that happens if someone's signing that day, if we do a signing interview or if someone is committing to a school, something that's like you want to get out there, it's time sensitive. So other than that, most of the interviews that you'll see on the show are also on the website here on ysnlive.com. So make sure that if you can't see the full interview today, maybe you can only check out the first half of the show, or maybe you miss a part of it. Make sure to head over to ysnlive.com, check that out, and check it out in its entirety. It's also on our YouTube page, as all of our player profiles are as well. But it will be featured on today's show. We're also going to do what we always do, recap the scores from last night, go over what's going on tonight across the YSN family. So we're going to start with that. We're going to jump into the scoreboard on ysnlive.com and see what's been going on last night across the network and the family schools. The YSN scoreboard is presented by Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs, and it is a great tool for the YSN fans, whether you're at one of these games or watching one of our broadcasts. Either way, you don't want to look away from the screen for too long, and the YSN scoreboard is a great and easy way to get live updated scores from your favorite teams across the YSN family. Whether it be your best friends on another team or maybe your heated rivals that you want to see how they're doing, the YSN scoreboard is a great way to get it. So ysnlive.com/scores is where you can find the scoreboard, and it is presented by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. Let's check it out for Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. Here is what the volleyball scene looked like. Kind of a late night when you come to matches. Niles gets a victory. Good for the Dragons. Their third of the year. They sweep Warren Harding 3-0. Austintown, Fitch, and Girard. Probably the game of the night. They go 5. Fitch gets the win 3-2 in that one. Escapes the road challenge of Girard. Champion gets a win over Youngstown East in straight sets 3-0. Howland sweeps Mooney 3-0. Wellsville plays a very, very good Union local team, and I'm sure they got um, a lot of things on tape for Wellsville that will tell them what they have to improve on. They did not get blown out in these sets. They were like 25-16, 25-16, around that kind of score. So they were not blown out of the water. It wasn't 25-3 or 25-5. So they did some good things. They did some things that they can look at and say, this is what we have to do. Union Local is a extremely good volleyball team, high level in Division 5, 2 divisions above them. So I think there's a lot that Wellsville can take out of this. We'll talk about that a little bit more and what it means to schedule these types of games after we get through the scoreboard. Garrettsville Garfield could not bounce back from their loss at Crestview on Tuesday. They fall to Mogador on Wednesday at home in 4 sets, 3-1 the final score there. Beaver Local goes on the road and gets the sweep over Cambridge 3-0, the final in that one. We go to boys soccer. Campbell gets the win over Brookfield 4-0 in a shutout for the Red Devils in that one. Champion gets the win over Crestview 4-0 final. Garrettsville Garfield, they fall to Waterloo 2-1. Let me scroll here. Southeast and Jackson Milton, and it's a good one in this soccer matchup. Jackson Milton does get the win 1-0 though, the final score. We have Newton Falls. They're able to fall to LeBray 4-3, the final score there. And then finally, Middle Ridge and Liberty. Middle Ridge gets to win 3-2. Girls soccer, a little bit more than the boys soccer games on Wednesdays. We had Warren Harding beat Boardman by a goal. That's a tough one to swallow for Boardman. 4-3, the final score there. Howland gets the win over Canfield. That's a big win for the Tigers. 4-0, a shutout for the Tigers. They've been able to do that quite a bit this year. Salem and Minerva doing battle inside the EBC, and Minerva gets the edge 5-4, the final score there. On the other side of that EBC rivalry on the Ysn family, West Branch gets to win 4-0 over Marlington to solidify their EBC dominance there over the Dukes. Hoban gets the win over Worcester 4-0. Louisville wins 4-0 over Mapleton. Hubbard and Struthers, it's Hubbard getting the big win 6-1, the final score there. Over in Poland, they were able to beat Lakeview in another shutout for them, 1-0, the final score there. South Range and Niles, it's all Niles in this one, 10-0, the final score. Raiders get shut out by the Dragons. Grand Valley, they are able to just get by Maplewood 5-4. They edge out the Rockets in that one. And then last but not least, Mohawk falls to Eden Christian 5-1 over in PA for a score there. So let's go back up to the top of the scoreboard in volleyball. I want to talk about one, Fitzgerald. We have stats for this game, and we'll go over kind of the scores for it and what went down the most. First headline of this game is that Riley Simons, the wonderful setter from Austintown Fitch, did earn her 2,000th, not 1,000th, but 2,000th, 2,000th. That is hard to say. Career assist in this game. She's just a junior, guys. She's got one more year after this one too. She's already at 2,000. That's remarkable. So that's one thing to point out. Here are the set scores. Fitch wins set 1, 25-14. Girard wins the next 2 in a row, 25-19, 25-20. And then Fitch edges out set 4. They barely get the win, 25-23. Forced to set 5, and they win by 2 in set 5, 15-13, the final. So a wild finish after Girard gets a lot of momentum after winning the second and third 2 in a row. Fitch able to just squeak by in set 4 and 5 and get the 15-13 win in the fifth and the 5-set victory. So a wild one there. We'll go to Fitch stats real quick. Riley Simons had 43 assists on the night, 28 digs. That's a major double-double for her. And like I said, the 2,000th career assist there. Kylie Folkwine had a double-double, 15 kills, 15 digs for her. Katie Wilt had a monster day, led the team in kills. She had 18 kills, 9 digs, 4 aces. Izzy Dorenzo, big day on defense as the libero for Fitch, had 25 digs on the night. For Gerard, they had big stats too. Bailey Walters, 26 kills. Nico Cochran, 13. That 26 kills is a match high. By far, by 8 kills more than the next highest player on either side. Nico Cochran with 13. Walters also had 6 aces. We know how good her serve can be. So she was also deadly on the service line. Assists, that freshman center, Chloe Plant, still doing a really good job. 38 assists for her. You had Kira Bell with 23 digs. Plant had a double-double because she had 18 digs as well to go along with her 38 assists. Blocks, that's something that Gerard probably wanted to do a little bit more. If you're going to slow down Fitch, you got to get the hands of the balls. They only had 3 blocks total as a team. 2 of them come from Alexis Peaton. 1 of them come from Brooke Perry. One of the things we saw when Boardman had success against Austintown Fitch in the one set they won in their conference matchup with the Falcons was their ability to get the blocks down. That second set in Boardman. Now, Gerard had success against Fitch. They obviously won 2 sets, but they didn't get the blocks. And I think to beat Fitch, I think if you're going to beat Fitch, what I've seen from him, you got to be able to block him at the net. You got to be able to get hands on balls, give your defense some time. And if you can't block them, you're going to have a really tough time beating them. So I see there are teams in the area on Fitch's schedule that will have the tools to put up a block and to play good net defense and hopefully get more than 3 blocks against them. But you got to be able to do it. We saw Boardman do it, and it took Fitch way out of their rhythm. That was the worst I've seen Austintown Fitch's offense all season, that second set at Boardman, because – and I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Fitch side would see it differently, but I think it was because the block got to him. Like, hey, it's hard to mentally come back from getting stuffed. And Boardman had like 3 or 4 blocks in that set by themselves. And it slowed the hitters down. And then Fitch made the adjustments in sets 3 and 4, and Boardman couldn't counter adjust, and their block kind of got a little bit out of whack. The further you go in the match, the harder it is to get good blocks because it's a fatigue thing. But if you do get those blocks in on Fitch, if you do get your hands on the ball, then you really give yourself a solid chance. And Boardman, historically, the last couple years, has struggled with blocking. And I thought that was going to be a big advantage for Fitch coming in. Now, Gerard still fought really hard. They have to be kind of frustrated that they were able to put that kind of effort on against Austintown Fitch, but they fell pretty easily to Lakeview. There's still a very, I don't want to say young team in Gerard, but a very inexperienced team with players playing in new positions and players kind of having to step up to bigger roles. And they're still trying to find consistency. We see them put up a game like this where they look really, really good. And then you saw the Lakeview scores 2 days ago. They didn't really look as good against Lakeview on the road. So I think Gerard's still trying to figure it out, still trying to figure out consistency. Coach Walters, he will figure it out. I promise you that. For the Indians, and when we hit the stretch, Gerard's going to be a team that you're going to have to really figure out. Now I want to go to this Wellsville game, and Wellsville playing Union Local. They're both OVAC teams. This was not a OVAC tournament game or anything, so this wasn't a game that had to be on their schedule. So you wonder, a lot of people saying, well, why is Wellsville going up and playing a team? Well, I should say welcoming in a team like that is so much bigger than them, that is just a state powerhouse, can win the state championship. Why are you playing a team like that? And I'm saying, why not? Right? You got to expose yourself to high level volleyball in this area, especially when we want to win volleyball state championships. We're eventually going to have to consistently expose our teams to really, really good volleyball teams. Out of the for Union Local, this isn't true, but for most of the volleyball that's really, really good in the state, out of that Canton, Akron area, gonna have to bring people in, right? Gonna have to play your really good teams out there. Smithville, Middle Lake Catholic, those teams in Lake County, those teams in Stark County, those are very good volleyball teams. You're gonna have to play them. Volleyball here in the area is great. It is, but it's not the same. Well, we hit them in the tournament every year. Independence is another great program. In the Northeast Ohio region, NDCL. You got to be able to play these caliber of teams, or you're just going to hit them in the tournament. And you're not going to know what to do against teams that can do that kind of stuff. Because a lot of teams in the area here, especially the smaller schools, they can't run slides. Their blockers aren't running across the net. They can't do all this stuff that you're going to see in the tournament one day. You're going to be like, I've never seen a team that can do this. That can hide their middle blocker like this and bring them around the corner and run set plays for the middle, which is very hard if you don't have a high level setter. You got to be able to play that. It's the same in every sport, but in volleyball specifically, we see way too much our teams get to the regional finals or get to the regional semifinals, and then they hit teams they can't, because they haven't played that level of volleyball all season, and then it gets pretty ugly pretty quick, right? And I get it. Volleyball is the one season where you don't have that holiday break where you can go and travel and play really high level sports. Basketball has Christmas break, and we see a lot of basketball teams travel to get into tournaments, and softball has spring break, and we see a lot of softball teams go to Myrtle Beach and Tennessee and Florida to expose themselves to high level softball, baseball. There's not really a break for volleyball. There's not a time where you can go and say, we're going to go play in Tennessee, or we're going to go play in these, invitationals and expose ourselves to really high volleyball, really high elite level volleyball. It's not that. So what volleyball teams in our area, what they have to rely on right now is just how much JO talent they have. Like, how many players do they have in club volleyball that in the off season expose themselves to that much, that kind of volleyball. And the most successful teams in the area have quite a bit of talent that goes and plays JO volleyball that can bring that experience to them. But there are teams that have good players that don't have that JO talent. And eventually they run into these teams that can do a lot of different things on the volleyball court. And they're not exposed to it. They don't know how to handle it. And then that's when you see these tournament games get kind of ugly. So when people say, why are you playing Union Local? Like, why would you play that game? You know you're going to lose. I don't think that game was about winning. And you want to win every game, and I don't want to sound like you go into a game expecting to lose. But that game, the goal of that game was beyond winning the match. It was, one, letting those players know this is the level of volleyball that we're going to see eventually, that if we want to do great things. Two, you put yourself on tape and say, hey, against that level of volleyball, here's what we did good. Here's what we have to improve on. Here's the things that we have to do better. And you can't use that tape for that kind of thing when you're playing teams you're just better than, right? So you see on tape, hey, this girl did this. Here's what our blockers can do. You see that on tape when you're playing Union Local, and it's really clear and evident. This is what we have to do, right? So I think it's an eye-opening experience. One, it's a humbling experience, but it's also just hey, here's what volleyball looks like when it's played at the elite level. This is where we have to be. This is our measuring stick. And I think it's not a bad thing to go do that. So that's my TED Talk. Play hard teams, play hard schedules, and don't hide under the small school banner. And we see a lot of our successful teams do that. And Wellsville is one of our most successful programs historically. They're doing that. So I'm proud that Wellsville was able to go out there and play Union Local. I think it's really cool. And I do not do anything but applaud them for putting themselves on that stage. And like I said, it wasn't a blowout. It wasn't a match where it was 25-5 consistently. Like, Wellsville did some things right. They got some things down. So that was fun to see. I applauded. I think more teams need to do it. And I would love to see more teams play the highest of caliber of volleyball they can, because if you go just outside our area, just outside of it, still in the Northeast Ohio region, you're going to see a lot of good volleyball teams that you can come and welcome in, or you can go to play really good high-level volleyball. So I want to see it more. I think our coaches want to see it more. And I think if we start doing it more, we're going to see more and more teams be able to find themselves in deep tournament runs. I think that'll happen again this year anyway, because we've expanded the tournament a little bit. We've had 7 divisions. So I think some teams are just going to be in better chances to succeed, but I still want to see more. I'm greedy. I want more, right? I think all of our volleyball fans want more too. We'll have more Running Point when we come back from this commercial break. Sam Bertuno is the player profile getting featured today. That's coming up and more on Running Point, brought to you by our good friends, as always, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Back in a bit.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Anthony Hartwig here. We're joined with a Cardinal Mooney volleyball player profile, one of their seniors, Samantha Rotuno. Sam, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me on here.
You got it. So senior year, right? It's finally here for you. What has it been like to kind of handle all the emotions and all that fun stuff that comes with senior year?
Honestly, it's been pretty stressful, but like I don't think people really understand like when they say how fast like things go fast. So like I can't even believe it's already September. It's crazy. Like an entire month's already gone past, and I don't know, it's just been a lot, but I'm taking it all in as much as I can.
Did you kind of prepare for this season before it started? Like, hey, I'm a senior now. I got to go in with this mindset, or I have to take everything in, or are you just trying to handle it like every other season?
I kind of knew in the back of my mind, like I was going to be a senior, but I was never really accepting of it until like our season really started. So I guess like I would say that I took that role in, but then I'm also handling it like any other season.
Now, here's a big question because I asked this to every senior, and it seems like it has different answers. Has it set in yet that you're a senior? Have you has the reality dawned your mind, or do you think it won't really hit you until towards the end of volleyball season?
I honestly don't think it will hit me towards the end of volleyball season. Like, I'm just not ready for it. I don't think yet. And I have so many other sports ahead of me where I'm just like, I can't believe I'm a senior, and it's going to be like a few of my last times playing these sports that I've been playing my whole life. So it's a little crazy.
You're going to have a busy senior year at Cardinal Mooney with all the sports that you do play. Let's talk about this volleyball team, though. You're off to a great start. You're 7-2 on the year. What has worked so well for you guys this year so far?
Surprisingly, I think one of the things that we changed the most is like the time that we're spending with each other. Like we've been team bonding a lot more, and like the chemistry just been so much better. And we're trusting each other a lot more on the court, and it's just playing with each other, getting more experience. We played all summer. We were scrimmaging like every week. So that, I feel like that made a huge difference, and we started to pull together and really show what we could do.
You bring up chemistry and trust in that answer, and that comes a lot with the senior leadership. And you're not the only senior on the team. You have a big senior class with you. But what kind of things have you guys been doing to try to keep that chemistry up, keep the leadership up, and make sure this team trusts each other and communicates on the floor?
Well, volleyball is a big mental game where it's like a game of mistakes, like everybody's scoring every point. So a lot of positivity, a lot of just encouragement on the court and off the court, like making sure everyone's like not in their head, because that's like a big thing in volleyball is after you make a mistake, you kind of have to bounce back, or it's gonna put you through a toll.
Just said it, you're not the only senior on this team. So what's it like to share that leadership role with your fellow seniors and to be able to not have all that leadership weight on your shoulders?
I mean, I think that's also like part of why we are how good we're doing right now is this split leadership we have. Everyone has their own role, and everyone's completing that role right now. If no one was completing their role, we would be lost. So it takes an army, and I think we're all doing what we need to do right now, and hopefully we could just keep it up.
What kind of leader do you think you are? Like, how would you describe your leadership techniques?
I want to say I'm a leader by example, but when I can't really show, I try to do encouragement and just make sure they all know I'm there for them. It's kind of my leadership role, I would say.
One of the players you get to lead is your sister, Sophia, and we have to talk about the family dynamic and being able to be on the team with her and what that's been like for you.
Honestly, like if I don't even care what sport I'm playing, as long as I'm playing it with her and making some memories, that's like one of my favorite parts. She is like one of my favorite people to play sports with. She just brings so much energy and so much like passion to the sport that I wouldn't want to play with anyone else.
Do you think being on the same team as her and in the same locker room as her has made you guys even closer than you were maybe before, the high school careers lined up?
Yeah, 100%. We spend every waking moment with each other, so we are definitely way closer. But we've shared a room our entire lives, so like it's not like we never weren't close. But yeah, we know the ins and outs of each other. That's honestly what helps us sometimes when we play back row. Like we trust each other to the point where like if she calls a ball, I know she's gonna get that ball. So I trust her. So it's honestly fun playing with her.
Man, sharing a room, you guys better like each other at that point because
Yeah.
there's no getting away from each other at all.
No.
I want to talk about your senior year in the classroom as well. I mean, this is your last chance to make your mark with the grades and everything like that. I'm sure senioritis may be kicking in a little bit, even though it's really early in the school year. What have been some of your favorite classes so far in your Mooney career?
So I would have to say I'm in this program right now. It's a 2-year program, so I'm finishing it. I'll take 2 more classes to finish it, and it's a biomedical program, which is probably one of my favorites because it teaches me a lot about like what I kind of want to go into, and I find that probably the most interesting. But I'm more of a math and science person, so I kind of always liked more of those classes more. So like math, any type of math I've enjoyed, science I've enjoyed, biology, chemistry, all of that.
Are there any class or subjects that you're taking for the first time this year as a senior that you're really excited for?
Yeah, I'm taking a psychology class that I'm excited for. I think that's very interesting, like getting to know like how people can make decisions and like all of that stuff. So that is like one of the classes I'm like more excited for than others.
So we don't want to see you go, but you're gonna graduate. So we have to talk about future plans. What are some of the things that you have in your future ideas of things you want to do after high school?
My plan is hopefully is I'll go pre-med track and I'll look into like pediatric side of it, and that's like I want to major in pre-med and go pediatrics, and then hopefully once I get in a good spot I'll get to do some like mission work like overseas and stuff like that. So
Yeah, you got a big map ahead. I like it. What drove you towards wanting to get a career in pediatric medicine?
I've just always been drawn towards that. I love working with kids, and I like the biggest thing with me is the reason I picked it is because being able to like help someone when they're younger and see like them have their entire lives ahead of them, like you're pretty much giving them like everything to live for, and I think that's a really cool way to look at it, and it's just something that like excites me and why I want to go into.
Is there a place you want to go? Is there like a dream college or a dream state that you want to go and spend your college career at?
I think we talked about this in my basketball one a little bit, but I wanted to look into like the state of Tennessee. You have that Tennessee flag. Um, Other than that, no, I'm looking into Case Western right now. So I'm not looking to go too far. Maybe probably more in state, but I'm not sure yet.
Nice reminder right there.
Hmm.
Nice reminder of Tennessee and what you can do. But things change, so we have to ask you again every now and then. You could be a completely different person since basketball season.
Oh,
Who knows?
100%, 100%.
Let's talk about things that you think you set as goals you wanted to accomplish this senior season and things you wanted to have done in your volleyball career before it was over.
So as a team in the beginning of the season, we actually created a list of kind of some things that we wanted to do, and personally, like some of those things on there is I want to make a deep run with at least one of my teams here as a team, like either in playoffs and just have a good like team chemistry with like playing and having fun, like actually enjoying the season. That's like my biggest thing is like I've gone far for track, but never as like a whole team sport, and I would really like to do that with one of them.
Last time we had you on, we talked about your older sister and the impact she had on you. And this time we're talking about your younger sister. Family affair right now for the Rotunos in Cardinal Mooney. What kind of impact do you think your family wants to leave when it's all said and done and they're done graduating at Mooney?
I feel like the impact would be is that we're student athletes and we work hard and wanting to be involved. And I feel like that's the biggest impact you can leave out of school is just the involvement in your leadership throughout the programs there and being remembered as that. So
In the same line of questioning, when we ask maybe next year's leaders or next year's team, what was it like being San Martino's teammate? What would you hope their answer would be?
I would hope they would say it's like having a sister. I treat them all like my little sisters, so I hope that's kind of what their answer is. But I never know.
I don't know if you feel this year, but I've been to 2-year games, and I feel like you have like so much more energy. Like you're getting more and more excited after points, and you're letting yourself kind of letting your hair down a little bit this year. Do you feel like this is a year where you feel like, you're done caring what you look like out there, and you're just kind of letting loose on the volleyball floor?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm there to have fun. If I'm gonna get a point, I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna cheer. I'm gonna get my teammates up. Like you have to have energy when you're playing volleyball, and if that's my job, I'm gonna take the job and try to do it my best.
Let's do it. And then we have to talk about Coach Shaheen, what it's been like to be under her and what kind of things that she's still helped you grow in over the years now as a senior.
Well, I've known Coach Shaheen since my senior. My oldest sister was a senior, so I was in like 5th grade. So I've known her for a while. Our relationship is great. She's a great coach to me. She does a lot. Sorry, someone's trying to open the door. She does a lot for me. I could go to her for anything, and she's a big guide.
If you had to pick like one spot of your volleyball game that she's helped you grow in the most, what do you think it would be?
Defense, 100%. She helped me be disciplined on defense. That's one of her main things she teaches is defense, and I mean she's improved my defense 100% since I've started as a freshman. So that's one of the big things I would contribute to her.
Now we are going to let you, like we always do, you've been a part of the player profiles. We're going to let you give out your thanks and shine lights on people that have supported you. But since you've already been on, I'm going to hit you with a little bit of a challenge. Okay. And maybe throw out some thanks that you haven't given before. Maybe, definitely give the ones to the ones that deserve extra thanks. But maybe hit some people that maybe missed the last time.
All right. I would like to give thanks to my entire team, all of my seniors, my coaches, Coach Shaheen, Coach Lauren, Coach Jeff. Like they all helped me. Our student section, our football players have been coming to a lot of our games. That's a new one. I would give thanks to them. And honestly, my parents, my family, everyone who keeps on coming and supporting. It's a huge help to us. And honestly, I'll give thanks to the refs. They show up for every game. They ref. So it's a new one.
That is a first, and I love it. I love it. You can't play without them, right?
Yeah, no.
All right, Sam. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate the time, and we can't wait to talk again real soon.
Thank you.
We have done hundreds of player profiles here on ysnlive.com, hundreds of them. I don't think anyone used their thank you time for the referees. So that was awesome. That was so cool. I put the challenge to Sam. I said, hey, you know what? Thank someone new. And she did. She's like, hey, you know what? Thank you to the referees. And we're right. You can't play without them, right? You might not agree with every kind of decision they make, every call they make, but if they don't show up, you're not playing. That's just the reality, right? So want to thank our referees out there that put in their time. I know we're in a little bit of a referee shortage right now. So the people that do gear up every night, we want to thank you so much for being able to do it. So shout out to the referees out there, courtesy of San Martino. What a great interview that was, though. In all seriousness, we're joking about the end of it, but love getting the chance to talk to San Martino. I think she's such a good leader to this team. And I know that it's been a tough week for Mooney. They've had to go Fitch and Howland back to back and hasn't gone the way they wanted it to. But one thing's for sure, I think people like San Martino and people like, Jada Lane, who you're going to hear from in a bit, and Brinkley Bear, who we got a chance to profile as well. Those leaders are going to be like, you know what, let's just get up. We can't do anything about the games that we've already gotten through. Let's go. They have a big opportunity tonight against JFK to get a win, get back on track. They're going to do it. And JFK's streaking right now. They have a couple of record-breaking performances in the last couple of games. So they're definitely on the right path. JFK is. So this is not going to be an easy, just happy-go-lucky game for Mooney, but it is an opportunity for them to get back off the mat and say, you know what, we're not going to let the last 2 games that we played define us. This is our 3rd game in as many days. Haven't been able to get into the gym and fix anything. Have to fix it ourselves, right? At the end of the day, Coach Shaheen can't fix it for them. And players like Sam Martino are going to get it fixed. Love that family. Love having them covered, and we're going to get Sophia Rotuno. We have her scheduled next week. So all that families going to all be covered on ysnlive.com for player profiles, and we couldn't have it any other way from Cardinal Mooney. So we're going to jump back into the scoreboard today. We're going to preview the night that is coming up for you tonight on this Thursday. Let's go down to the 12th. This is how you switch days. If you're new to the scoreboard, there's the dates on the bottom that you click on, and then just bring up Thursday. Here we go. A lot of volleyball, but we start with football, and it's the big rivalry, right? It's East Liverpool, it's Beaver Local on a Thursday night, the only show in town for football. That's going to be a fun one. 7 o'clock is your start time for Beaver Local, East Liverpool, and it's all on the line, blue versus red, the big game. Volleyball action tonight. Plenty of stuff to go over. We'll start in PA. Mohawk hosting Beaver Falls. Up in the 440, Edgewood going to be playing host to Conneaut. And St. John going to be hosting Fairport Harding. Perry hosts Hawken tonight. And Lakeside hosts Jefferson. We go to Fitch, taking back into the AAC play. They will hit the road to Howland, also in the AAC. Canfield hosting Boardman. Champion is going to go to Newton Falls tonight as Columbiana travels to Southern Local. Crestview going to go to LeBray. It's back-to-back games against teams in the top of the standings for the MVAC. So Crestview having a big week. They already took off Garrettsville Garfield on Tuesday. Now they have the team that's right behind them, biting at their heels, second-place team in LeBray. They're going to go on the road, a big road test for Crestview tonight as they'll try to remain unbeaten overall in the MVAC. Brookfield going to be hosting Garrettsville Garfield, who we just mentioned. Lakeview tries to stay undefeated and in top of the conference as they travel to Hubbard, a scrappy team that can really give people some problems. So don't sleep on that being a good game for Lakeview. You can't take Hubbard for granted. Latonia going to Wellsville tonight in the EOAC. East Palestine hosting Lisbon. McDonald will be traveling to Lowville. Middle Ridge traveling to Jackson Milton. Niles going to South Range as the Raiders try to make it 3 wins on the week. Pymatuning Valley going to Lordstown tonight. Camel will be hosting Sebring. Southeast will be traveling to Liberty. We have Springfield going to Western Reserve. That should be a really fun one. Our ace photographer, Gary Leininger, will be in Western Reserve tonight for that game. Make sure to stop him. Make sure to get his shirt. Back of his shirt will have a QR code, which takes you right to our smug mug. So if you are a fan of the photos you see on ysnlive.com, a lot of them are from Gary Leininger. So make sure to stop him, get a little snapshot of that QR code on the back of his shirt, and take a look at our pictures on our smug mug. Poland hosting Struthers tonight in 88 play. We have United traveling to Valley Christian. Ursuline going to Cheney. Like we said, JFK versus Cardinal Mooney. This is a big one for both teams, right? Because Coach Shaheen taught at Warren JFK for a long time. Her and Sam Young know each other very, very well. So this is a little bit more on the line than most. This is going to be a fun one in Cardinal Mooney between the Eagles and the Cardinals. Make sure to tune into that one there. Also, Beaver and PA going to be traveling to Newcastle as we have volleyball across the border in the PA state today as well. Boys soccer tonight, we have Beaver. They're going to be playing host to Elwood City. Mohawk and PA also home. They'll be playing host to Quaker Valley. Boardman, they're going to be welcoming in Warren Harding. Canfield welcomes in Howland as AAC play continues. On that end, West Branch traveling to Columbiana. Louisville making the trip to Medina, Highland. CVCA coming to Orange tonight. Not only will there be volleyball between JFK and Mooney on the court, but there will be soccer on the soccer field tonight between JFK and Mooney as well. So it's going to be a busy day for Cardinal Mooney. Pymatuning Valley going to be traveling to Badger. Bristol goes to Grand Valley. and Edgewood goes to Harvey tonight. On the girls soccer side, we have Beaver traveling to South Park. United going to be hosting Rootstown. Edgewood playing host to Grand Valley tonight. Pymatuning Valley traveling to Badger. Mentor going to Perry. We have Kirtland going to Orange tonight. Jefferson takes on Madison on the road. Brookfield goes to Waterloo in the MVAC. Also in the MVAC, Crestview traveling to Southeast. Another MVAC one is Greersville Garfield goes to Newton Falls. LeBray goes outside of the league to travel to Bristol. And then finally, Springfield traveling to Warren JFK to play tonight. So both JFK soccer teams and their volleyball team in action tonight. It's a busy day for JFK fans. Make sure to get out to your favorite games tonight. Now let's get out to the announcers and who will be calling what games and what games will be on the network tonight as well. So tonight, which is September 12th on a Thursday, we'll start with volleyball. Eric Hughes, Ty will be on the call for Mohawk and Beaver Falls. Ty Bartell making the trip to Canfield for their matchup with Boardman. I will be in LeBray as Crestview travels to LeBray for that one. And Gary Altizer will be in Wellsville for their matchup with Latonia. Chris Sigler and Gary Burton going to have the call for Beaver Local and East Liverpool. The rivalry matchup will be on at 7 o'clock on ysnlive.com. Girls soccer, the school is taking care of Perry and Mercer and Kirtland and Orange, so both those games will be on YSN, courtesy of the school's broadcast team. And that will be it for tonight. So we have 4 volleyball games, 2 soccer games, and a football game, all on the network tonight. That's more than anybody else will be putting up today. I promise you that much. ysnlive.com is where you can find it, /live, to find the live games page, and then click on the game that you want to watch. Make sure to do that. If you're not going to be watching the broadcast, we're hoping that you're out there live supporting your favorite athletes, whether it be on the court or the field. Going to be a beautiful day today if you're outdoors with the football team or with the soccer teams. So make sure to get out there. Make sure to treasure the warmth while you have it if you're a warm body like me, because it's not going to be here forever. The winter is coming, right? If you're a Game of Thrones fans, winter is coming, and it's coming very fast. I want to talk about it. Thank you so much for tuning in today to Running Point. We will be back here tomorrow. It is Football Friday. We'll have a football player profile to be featured tomorrow, and we will also go over all the games that are going to be happening in Week 4, as always. So make sure to tune into that. You don't want to miss it. 1 to 2 here on ysnlive.com, and always brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Thank you again for tuning in.